If you're tagging your name with Sabya, I definitely feel that you're very expensive.
Are you freaking nuts? You're putting me in the same category.
Global events like Met Gala Cannes. Do you think it's very important for a brand?
Yes, it definitely gives you the eyeballs.
What's the best way to balance comfort and style?
Your wedding day is going to be the most uncomfortable day of your life.
I love having an honest designer on WedFM. Welcome to season 2 of WedFM India, India's first wedding podcast. Today, we are stepping into the world of luxury, legacy, and limitless style through the eyes of a designer who didn't just build a brand, he redefined a category.
I started designing clothes when I was in 8th or 9th standard. First 6 months, I posted my own wardrobe on Facebook page.
Without money, it's next to impossible.
Well, I arranged 2.5 lakh rupees. I put up my first collection. That's about it. And that's how you need to start.
मेरे साथ कुछ गलत नहीं हो सकता.
Yeah.
To reach to this level, I think it takes a lot.
I had my biggest collection launch coming in August, and July there was a fire in my factory. I have gone through this much that nothing can affect me anymore.
From starting in a humble guest room with nothing but a few clothes and a dream, he didn't just design for grooms, he designed for men who want to make a statement. What is that silly mistake usually grooms do?
Matching the dupatta with the fiance's lehenga. You look like a brother and sister more than bride and groom.
What you gonna tell those grooms who really suffer from using sehras?
Abey yaar.
I have seen my grooms talking to me and saying that this designer doesn't meet until unless the billing is this much.
I bought something from the designer in 2013. The alteration can't be done because the season is there and we can't do it. You have to pay extra because you are few inches more. That is something that I wanted to change.
In a world where menswear often gets the sidelines, Jatin Malik turned the groom into the main character. If you have to take one designer's name, bride wear this brand and a groom would choose your brand.
I would love to see more of paired with my piece. I love that embroidery.
Have you ever said no to any groom?
I straight away said that don't come to me for tuxedo.
Yeah.
Go to Gaurav Gupta.
So today, we will explore his journey, his creative process, his challenges, and his unstoppable rise. Choosing Groomswear. How did you get that clarity?
Nobody gave a shit about what is the groom going to be. Bhai, uski bhi shaadi hai. It's a crime against men. If a bride has to go to Sabya for wedding, the groom has to come to Jatin Malik for his. I want to make pieces that people will say that, oh, this piece should be in the museum.
So this isn't just a conversation. It's a masterclass in turning vision into victory. So let's welcome Jatin Malik. Hi Jatin.
Hi.
Welcome to WedFM's couch, finally.
Finally. Yes.
You know, the reason why you see such a wide smile on my face, because I've always imagined talking about groomswear.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been just focusing too much on brides.
Tell me about it.
I think it was a time to talk more about grooms as well. And who's better than you? And I know for a fact that you just don't design the outfits, you design confidence.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad that you finally chose WedFM's couch to spill most of the beans. So welcome.
Thank you so much for having me here. And you put it aptly. I think I used to say this a lot, and I think it now has transformed into what it is right now. But I think not designing for grooms, and people started shopping and people going to stores and just having a look at the whole store, and the whole store is filled with bridal wear. And there are only 2 racks right at the back of the corner of the store. And there are 2 sherwanis hung and 2 articles hung there. And the rest of it you need to finalize from swatches. That was not even an unfair thing. It's a crime against menswear. I genuinely thought so. And this was what I wanted to change. It didn't obviously initially got transitioned into that sort of brand building experience that I wanted to. But now in the last 5 years, I think we are the first hand witness of how the whole groomswear industry has transformed. And now I think every veteran and every new designer is finally carving out a path or carving out a design language for the grooms, which I may sound a little controversial. A lot of designers should not be in I think, doing groomswear for sure, but because of this herd mentality, because now everybody is doing groomswear, so we are also going to groomswear, is something which a lot of brands are doing, which nobody is more happier than me when I see giving the right justice and right importance to men of this country, especially all across the world also, that finally there is someone or there are people who are designing for grooms also.
Sure.
Yeah.
But here we are sitting with the trendsetter.
I'm more than humbled and
But, I like the way how you said it's a crime. You didn't even use the word unfair.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it definitely has come from a point where you really wanted to call it a crime and change it for forever.
Yeah.
But, WedFM का एक छोटा सा ritual है. Before we start any conversation, I specifically feel that, किसी की प्रोफेशनल जर्नी को जानना जितना आसान होता है, उतना उसकी पर्सनल जर्नी को समझना उतना ही मुश्किल होता है और उतना ही ज़रूरी होता है. And I'm sure what you are today has a lot to do with what all that you have gone through. So I really want to ask you, how did you land here?
I genuinely don't know how did I land here, but it's a very filmy story. I think a lot of people who are close to me, they know exactly. I should be the last person sitting here designing clothes. I belong obviously from a typical Punjabi middle class family, and obviously there are tried and tested things that you are allowed to do. And that's exactly what the path looks like. I started designing clothes when I was in 8th or 9th standard, and I have no idea why.
8th and 9th standard?
Yeah. So I started making changes in the school uniform. I started putting patch pockets on the shirt, and then my friends liked the whole changes that I made. Then I started making changes in their uniform also. I got reprimanded from my principal's office, thrown out of the school. My parents got called into the school that why is he doing this and all sorts of things. So I'm from a very small city, Hisar. I don't even know people heard the name or not.
We know it.
Yeah.
And I think because of you, people will know it more.
Hopefully. Yeah, I think so. And genuinely wish more and more people from all sorts of tiny towns of this country come out and actually do their own thing. But so that was the time I used to come to Delhi to buy fabrics from Chandni Chowk and different markets. I found that's what I'm saying. It's a very filmy story. I found a drunk Masterji in Hisar. I convinced him that you need to design clothes for me. You need to stitch clothes for me. I'll design and you need to stitch. I convinced his wife that I'll give him a chance. I'll obviously try my best to get him to the right track and something like that. So that became I won't call it a business, but that became a system where I used to go to Chandni Chowk, buy the fabrics, used to get the clothes stitched from a Master Ji. And then for 4 or 5 months, I used to wear the same clothes. Then after that, I used to organize a dairy sort of a system where all of my friends obviously liked my clothes, so I invited them over, like, buy whatever you want to from that dairy.
Amazing.
And that became a cycle. So whatever money I used to earn from there, I used to then again go back and come back to Delhi and buy the fabric and then go back again. So that became like a whole thingy. And from I think 9th till I think 12th standard, I obviously kept coming to Delhi, and that was the system that we were following. And I think then again, you do your graduation, you do your MBA because your parents want you to get into this rat race or the cycle. Typical Punjabi munda, sada munda ji changi company ch kaam karda hai. That was the dialogue every parent's dream is. So that happened. I did my MBA, I did my graduation. Obviously, it didn't completely vanish, the designing part. I kept designing for friends, for their some occasion or something like that. And then I think after my MBA, I started my job and went into corporate sector. Worked there for good 6-7 years.
Don't tell me.
I worked there for good 6-7 years. I resigned from a very senior position. You may call it epiphany, you may call it anything else. It just struck upon me that I'll be wasting my life if I don't design clothes. Obviously, because I was on a senior position and I was not allowed to leave my job, the best thing I could muster up at that moment, and shouldn't be doing this, nobody should do this, I lied to the whole family that I have resigned. I'm still working in my job, but I put in my papers the day of my promotion so that I'll not get bound by the increased salary or something like that. And so for 1 year, I think I did my Facebook page. Facebook was huge back then. I'm talking about 2014 and 15.
Yeah.
So I made my own page. I asked a lot of my friends to follow the page, and I'll design clothes for you for free. If you don't like it, don't pay me. If you like it, you wear it and you then pay me. So it happened simultaneously with the job that I was doing. So imagine I'm going into the office. So I'm getting out of the house. My family is thinking, obviously he's going to office. I'm not going to office. I'm going to the market to buy the fabric. And then 1 year it happened. And then I think I had a chat with the whole family. I made them sit down, and this is what I'm doing. I didn't have any money to hire any model or any photographer or even have money to produce the clothes also. So the first 6 months, I posted my own wardrobe on Facebook page. And I used to ask my sabzi wala or my security guard to click my picture whenever I'm going out of the house.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that's how it transformed into what it is right now. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people, and I'm not even kidding, like I think my whole office knows this. A lot of people now come to office, they think that I'm from some sort of generational wealth or something. I'm not. I'm the last person who should be sitting here and talking about this. I've been blessed beyond measures. I've been blessed by my universe, my God. I'm a spiritual person. So if it goes in that direction, obviously you need to manage that. But I'm just saying, so that's how it started. I think for 1.5, 2 years, I converted my guest bedroom in my apartment into a boutique.
Amazing.
Obviously I couldn't start with take a bigger space, a store or something. I used to visit, and I used to go to people's houses to take their measurements, to deliver stuff. I used to iron clothes for them, and I have done everything in my company what now the whole team is doing. So we are more than 100 people in my company, and now I say this. So can I use the cuss word? I don't know. No, yeah. So nobody can fuck around in my company because I know each and every department to the T. Like for example, if the dye color is not getting correct, I know for a fact that what sort of percentage of that color needs to be added to that, because I used to get the whole colors dyed while standing on the head of that dye wala jo aapko roadside pe dikhte hain. So that's how I have started my journey, and from designing to procurement to production to delivery, I've done everything. So this notion of designers only know creative stuff, it's like the biggest misconception. I can't obviously talk about others, but as far as my brand is concerned, I can talk about, so we joke around in my company where I'm CEO 9 months out of 12, and 3 months I get to design, and I cherish those 3 months. I hate being involved in operations, but obviously that's like I have to. There is no other going beyond it. So so that's the journey. That's how I started, and that's who we are right now.
I mean, it's a clear example of seeing someone chasing his own dreams. I mean, it's so amazing to know. And I don't know, I firmly believe in this. When someone chooses to tell their own story, it really helps someone. Agar wo ek bhi insaan ko help karta hai, you've done your job, right?
That's the right way to do it.
Exactly.
You aptly put it right.
So while you were talking, I was actually thinking that just because he wanted to achieve it, he has done everything without even thinking what's that one thing he's losing, maybe in terms of his job, maybe in terms of anything, where you've spent so many years, you still chose to pick up your dream. It's such a nice way to go about it. But tell me, what kept you going? Because I was having a conversation with you a while ago, and you were mentioning that mere saath kuch galat nahi ho sakta, right? To reach to this level, I think it takes a lot. So I really want to ask you, what kept you going?
I don't know if I should be using this line. It sounds a little dramatic, but the thing people say that you don't know the number of battles you have gone through to be this calm in life. I've struggled a lot in life. I'm not going to shy away from saying this. And people who are close to me, they know exactly what I have gone through to be here. But at the same time, it's just the fact that I have gone through this much that nothing can affect me anymore. I don't know if you can relate to this or not. You reach a level where you know I can take anything in now. whatever happens, it's just a matter of, like, I know the moment I get up in the morning, I know for a fact there are 7 fires that I need to take care of. I run 3 companies, so I know for a fact something or the other is happening somewhere for sure. And I say this to my brother, I say this to my like top level people also, like, why do you shy away from problems? It's a part of life. If you just change the narrative a little bit and put the perspective and see this in a perspective of, if there is no problem, you're any which way is not growing. I know it's saying easier said than done, but at the same time, but if you just wrap your head around this fact that problems to hai, the moment you get up, you just need to take care of it. And then there is no one holding you back. Like, just go all in.
Yeah.
And as I told you pehle, I came from nothing. In some weird sense of the word or way, I still feel that if there is nothing, I'll still survive.
Yeah.
I can build it from scratch. Like, brave enough to risk it all, confident enough to make it all back again. That's my philosophy. And with utter humility, I say this. And whenever I've mentioned this, that nothing wrong can happen in my life, people sometimes actually concoct this in a manner, oh, he's so pompous and arrogant. It's not about that.
Yeah.
With utter humility, I say this. I know my universe, I know my heart. I'm not doing anything wrong for anyone. I'm not even thinking about other people. There is no malice. There is no sort of agenda of, I just know for a fact that JMC will be the biggest fashion house before 2030.
It's already is.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. I have no idea how this will happen, but I know for a fact this will happen. There is some sort of strange confidence in my head and some higher power which is saying that yes, it will happen. You just show up every day. That's it.
You know, it's making me feel so happy. I don't know how it happens. Whoever has been on this couch has always spoken about high power.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'll land up being with same set of
Minded
people, like-minded people. And I feel really, really blessed. And while you were asking me whether I can relate with this or not, I remember whenever any problem would arise in my life, I would run away from it. But there was a time when I told myself, for example, हम बोलते हैं ना कि सबको मौत से डर लगता है. And we say that once we have to tell death that now what? Tell me. Now what? So I have started practicing that. If I'm scared of something, I tell myself, इससे क्या होगा?
Yeah, true.
I can't do anything, right? So when you face it, so this is
what
the
happens.
outcome,
Yeah,
you know.
this is the outcome.
But this is so beautiful to know. But tell me something. How did you get to know that this is more than your side hustle? Because I'm sure leaving a job where you've spent so many years and suddenly, you know, there's this day when you decide that this is it. So I need to know this. Why? Because I'm sure people who are starting out this journey and who's listening to you would really want to know that when is the time to listen to yourself?
I think you need to ask just one thing to yourself. And I did ask this to my own self. I think 26, 27, I was. What is the one thing that has been the common factor in all of the things that you have done till this age? And I'm not even kidding. Like, I know there were days when you know that you're going to get thrashed by your boss. Yeah. But it may sound a little funny right now, but at that time also and that day also, I was thinking what I'm going to wear that day. So that's the person I am. It's not about, it's the love for clothes. It's the love for fashion and style that has never gone out of my head. I am from 8th standard to my graduation, to my MBA, to the jobs that I have been a part of. All of those things, one thing which has been consistent is, and I genuinely ask this to myself, like, what is the one thing that you are wanting to do, but there is no chance in hell that you can actually take the first step because there is no backing. You can't even tell your family that you are wanting to resign from the job. The one thing which will give you utmost happiness. And I have chased money throughout my life. With like every guy, they start their career and the one thing is, this is this year's number, this is next year's number. And that's the same cycle everybody follows, right? The way you just mentioned, at 26, at 27, I just decided, no matter what happens, I'm not going to run after money. For 1 year at least, I just want to give it a shot.
Wow.
And that's the same time I started meditating, and I haven't missed a single day. So people now, obviously, term has been bastardized a lot, manifestation and meditation. But understand, it's a blanket statement a lot of people use but I personally use it to concoct and create a life that I've always wanted to. I obviously don't, in hindsight, I know it was not a apt or a good decision, leaving a good, like, cushy job and then trying to start something and that level. But at the same time, if I wouldn't have taken that shot, I know for a fact I would have regretted my whole life. And that's the question. And then I started meditating. My spiritual journey and this brand's journey started at the same month. Like that's, and the funny incident is, it's a very Bollywoodish book. I read a lot. I read like 3 books in a month.
Amazing.
Yeah. And I started reading this book when I was in this confusion कि करना क्या है life में. And that book was a gift for somebody else. And the guy said that I don't want to read it. If you want to read it, you take it. And that book is on subconscious mind. Wow. And I started reading. So can you see this now? If you connect the dots now, from getting the right book at the right time, starting my spiritual journey at the right time, taking a shot at my dream, everything just fell into place. Yeah. And that's how I started the whole journey. So yeah.
I loved how you said that, how it has been planned for you, right? This is a very beautiful way of accepting your journey. Yeah. But अगर हम practicality की बात करें, right? This is how you manage to lead the way. But without money, without having any contacts, it's next to impossible. Or do you think it's not impossible, it's just the way you look at it? I mean, how did you see it?
No, money is important, really important. Yeah. And I'm not here giving some sort of gyan where, oh, you be spiritual and you get everything in life. Yeah. You need to obviously put in the efforts. And you actually asked a very important question. A lot of young designers do DM me how to start a luxury brand without any money.
Exactly.
And this is like the most, like, that's a very common question. I'm not going to say that you can start the brand without any money, but at the same time, I am definitely going to say this thing in people's head that, oh, we need a certain kind of photographer, we need a certain kind of model, we need a certain kind of like a setting, and it requires a lot of money to produce the stock. It shouldn't be a constraint. The only thing you need to figure out is how to put your product out. And I'll give you a point by point answer for anybody, any guy or any girl who wants to start their own brand. The only thing you need to figure out is, if you are providing value in this industry, I'm saying you can start the brand any day you want to. The only thing is, if you want to start a successful brand in any category or any industry, first thing is, do not freaking do anything which everybody else is doing. You need to provide value. Don't get into this industry if you just want to do what everybody else is doing. Second thing is the raw and authentic approach towards storytelling. Do not do scripted shoots. Do not do scripted sort of monologues. Do not do content also in a way, oh, this is my product, this is this is that. It's done, it's dusted. The time is to do a storytelling which is absolutely you, your story. Authentic storytelling is the game changer. Value, authentic storytelling. And then third, if you just put your product out, doesn't matter, no fancy setting, nothing. If your product has value, people will call you. People will definitely text you. And I'm telling this to you, if you actually do this right, you don't need anything else. These are the 3 things you need. And after, problem is not when you start. Problem is when you reach a certain stage, you'll get a lot of dopamine high from people who are obviously appreciating your product and everything. But after 2 or 3 months, when you start getting the orders and you need to do something else, then you need the capital, like a little bit of capital that you have to arrange from somewhere. I'll give you my example. I arranged 2.5 lakh rupees. That's it. Nothing fancy, 50 lakhs, 40 lakhs, 30 lakhs. No. I arranged 2.5 lakh rupees. I put up my first collection, including the shoot. He's my friend, so he knows that if he listens to this, I asked my friend to do it for free. The shoot I'm talking about. In 2016, I think July I resigned, and 2016 September I put up my first collection. I convinced my friend to do a shoot for me for free.
Yeah.
I put 2.5 lakh rupees, created the clothes. I figured out a location in Faridabad for 30,000 rupees for a day. I conducted the whole shoot, and we launched some 15, 16 looks. That's it. That's about it. And that's how you need to start. So it's not like you have to arrange 50 lakh rupees to launch a brand. You can make your website. And now, because of ChatGPT or plethora of options that are available right now, you don't even need to spend money on website. You don't even need to spend money on anything.
Yeah.
You just need to spend money on the product that you're putting out. And if you can arrange this much money, you can actually start your own brand. And at the same time, you just need to put yourself out by telling your authentic story. If you can do that, I'm not even kidding. The biggest of fashion publications or biggest of editors in this world will reach out to you. And I have like plethora of examples I can give.
Yeah.
From Anayata to all sorts of, these guys want like a person who's just building it up. Everybody is done and tired of seeing the same scripted narratives of shoots that are happening in fanciest of locations. हो गया बाबा, सबका हो गया वो. You need to, people need fresh faces, and everybody loves an underdog. Everybody loves an underdog.
Absolutely.
And I genuinely, that's why I'm saying, even after reaching here or maybe doing whatever, the thing is I keep saying this, I haven't started yet, only because I don't want that underdog wala tag to just leave me this soon, because I still want to be treated as one. It has a different sort of feeling attached to it.
And it's a very humble statement to give, Jatin. But how do you stay authentic in your brand?
I keep showing up, first thing first, and not talking about showing up in the sense of on my page. I have a different community which is Unplugged, where we talk about all things spiritual. And I run a PR agency also. So the whole thing about me is the accessibility. One thing I actually found out very early on in my career is this industry has always kept the facade on.
Yeah.
Like reaching out to a designer and talking to a designer used to feel like, oh, we are talking to somebody who is a different, like who's an alien to us.
Yeah, league altogether. Different league. Yeah.
It's not that.
Yeah.
Everybody, see, you can create whatever sort of facade that you want to. End of the day, you're designing clothes, you are a human. And I know for a fact that has what worked in my favor beautifully, because I have never shied away from being accessible to my clients, being accessible to my people, my teams, anybody who wants to. I'm not even kidding. Anybody, my PR team can actually vouch for this. Anybody who wants to just meet me, like I'll give you a very specific example. Like 10 days back, somebody from, I think, Sweden came down.
Yeah.
And he just reached out to my PR team that I want to meet with Jatin and sit down. I have no agenda. Nothing, no business with this guy. And this guy just wanted to sit down with me, talk about, again, the same thing.
Yeah.
Big fan and wanted to do this and that. I don't want to sound modest, but at the same time, this kind of connection where we have no agenda on the table and my time is of really, really important. Like it's a lot of value for me. I don't spend time with anybody, but at the same time, if somebody loves my brand and loves me this much, what happens, Baba? Why not you just take out 30 minutes out of your schedule and sit down with the guy or a girl? It just makes their day. And at the same time, it establishes the relationship. And that's the authentic
approach. Yeah.
If you are available, people will see you in a very different light.
Yeah.
And that has what has like gone beautifully in my favor.
Yeah.
That's the
But
thing.
I want to ask you, because you've been in the industry for a while now. I won't take anyone's name, but I have seen my grooms talking to me and saying that this designer or whatever, I mean, whoever I'm talking about, doesn't meet until unless the billing is this much.
We both know who you're talking about. Yeah, I know.
But why is this so? I mean, you have created something with utmost love, passion, and your own real model wants to sit with you, ask you that, hey, do you want me to, look this way or that way? Can you style me up? And all of those things.
Yeah.
But you don't want to do this. you just put the monetary tag on it by saying that if you do this much of billing, then only I'm coming and seeing you. Half of the time, we don't even see designers being in their own stores, right? So I still remember when I got married on Band Baja Bride, and everybody kept telling me that, oh, Sabyasachi is going to meet you and do that. Like you just said that back then, and in fact, till now, people think that if you're meeting a designer, you're meeting a celebrity, right? And I don't know why we think like that. I also felt this way, but when I actually met him, he hugged me and he was dressing me up, and I was asking him that I'm not crying because I'm looking so beautiful, I'm crying because I met you, right? So this feeling is so beautiful. Imagine you're taking a path of getting married to someone, and in that path you're meeting all your favorite people and getting to do this. Why do you think people come up with these notions?
The same designer. I bought something from the designer in 2013, I think before I started my own brand. And I'm not even going to, and that was primarily the reason I wanted to start my brand.
Yeah.
I bought something and it was chosen from, again, 2 sherwanis hung on the rack at the end of the corner of the store. And then I placed an order 45 days in. I got there for the trial. And there was so I like my clothes to be a little tapered. I asked for a little bit of alteration. The piece was fine. I just wanted a little bit of tapering. And the brand and the designer or the salesperson told me that for this particular season, we are not going to do any sort of alteration. Menka, why? Because I am supposed to wear this in another 6 days. You can say that obviously it'll take this much time.
Yeah.
Straight away refusing to do the alteration in the brand where you just need to literally taper the waist. That's it. Nothing else has to be done. That was the only thing required. And they refused to do it. This actually is just one of the examples that I can give for that particular designer also and for other designers also. But that is something that I wanted to change.
Yeah.
Here, we don't even charge for alteration. We don't even charge for double XL or triple XL size, which people have now made it a thing. I hate people when actually they talk about this fat tax, which has become so prevalent in this industry. Why would you do that? You're a designer, your margins are high, you're charging so much money from your client. Why would you charge extra money just because the guy is a little above the standard size?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? And this has been such a ridiculous statement going on in the market. And I told my team, like, whatever happens, this is never going to be a part of JMC.
Yeah.
And so things like this, I'm saying, the alteration can't be done because the season is there and we can't do it.
Yeah.
You have to pay extra because you are a few inches more.
Yeah.
Are you freaking nuts? You're genuinely charging 3x the amount or 4x the amount, and there are designers who charge 10x the amount. And then also you're asking for an extra charge because the measurements are a little different. That's it. So this is what I'm saying. A lot of designers still are in that cocoon, still are in that shell where they think, and I can take like 7 names right off the top of my head, but I think it's about to, it's more or less done and dusted now.
Yeah.
Everybody, especially the veterans who have been in the same sort of philosophy and shell and their cocoon, are going out of the business very soon, and it can be seen in the market. And all of the younger brands, I'm not just talking about me, and a lot of younger brands are doing phenomenal jobs.
Yeah.
Like they do phenomenal storytelling, they do phenomenal work also. They know what is the thing that was not working in the first 20 or 30 years of this wedding business.
Yeah.
Now we have actually taken corrections, we have done the rectifications, and now people are finally getting used to designers being there at the store and getting access to designer through mails or getting a reply from a designer on DMs. Like the number of CVs that we get every day and the number of replies that I personally do on my DMs on Instagram is just, my team sometimes say that you shouldn't reply to these messages. There is a saying, that whatever has made you reach this far, you shouldn't stop doing it. You obviously can extend it and build on it, but you shouldn't stop doing it. I have always been the accessible designer. This tag I love. I will never ever change this in my life.
Now I know why you say that I'm just not trend driven, I'm
Yeah.
value driven.
Yeah.
That's very interesting to know. I mean, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि जितना आप इंसान को internally जानने की कोशिश करते हो, it's very easier, for anyone to know about your brand as well. Because आप सोचिए कि आप सुबह से लेकर शाम तक you spend so much time working, right? And it's so important for you to put the same reflection to the world as well,
Yeah.
right? So, but I'm sure ऐसा तो नहीं हो सकता कि it's just been a cakewalk for you.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, कभी तो ऐसा हुआ होगा when you felt that why did I do this? I mean, कितना आसान होता कि मैं corporate job करता and then it would have been just so easy. I'm sure there must be a day.
No, so not even once have I gone to that stage that, oh, that would have been easy.
Yeah.
But yes, every third day I definitely curse myself and cry myself to sleep that, oh fuck, how now I will get out of this.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying, see, even if I'm saying it's a cakewalk or even if I'm saying nothing wrong will happen to me, it's my perspective. It's my sort of take on things that this is my life.
Yeah.
I want it this way. When the dream was just to sit on the table, now I'm getting to eat so much, then why am I complaining? That's the same approach I take towards everything in my life.
Yeah.
I have been blessed with so much. Obviously, it comes with overheads. Obviously, no matter how passionate you are about a certain thing in your life and you're building your business and your life around it,
Yeah.
first, just take a step back and take a bird's eye view of how many people out of the whole world can even say that they are following their passion, one. And even if they are, they have built a beautiful family and business around that passion. Not even 1%.
Yeah.
Genuinely. You know how lucky I am, like how lucky you are or how lucky we are sitting here and talking about this.
Yeah.
A lot of people they go by their life from month to month like this is what they have to do because they're not allowed to.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying I feel bad for them. I'm just saying because there are a lot of circumstances they can't get out of. There may be, it was a very strong chance. There was a very strong chance that this things couldn't have like panned out the way it had panned out. But I just never gave up. Like it was not even in the books. Because I say this, I know a lot of people criticize me for this. I have never worked according to any plan B.
Wow.
I'm a very firm believer. Your plan A will never work out if there is a plan B in the picture. It has always been this mindset, like kuch bhi ho jaye, like this has to be the plan A and we have to go all in. And now coming back to the setbacks and it happens every day.
Yeah.
Like I had a fashion show in New York and I lost my passport on the day of my visa interview.
No.
Yeah. And I had my biggest collection launch coming in August, and July my factory was like there was a fire in my factory, like a major fire in my factory. And the whole production got halted for a good 1 month or 1.5 months because I couldn't do anything. Like these are the things. And by the way, these two things happen like in the same month. So understand the mindset that I am going through. But at the same time, I still feel blessed. It could have been a lot more harmful to my people.
Yeah.
Nobody got hurt. Only the infrastructure got a little bit of beating. But at the same time, I just don't see things that way. I'll tell you one thing. And I told this to my team also. Because the first time when I lost my passport, the interview that was supposed to happen with the guy or a girl in the visa office wouldn't have turned out the way it turned out the next time I gave the interview.
Yeah.
I see things that way. There has to be one positive out of every negative thing that has happened in my life.
Yeah.
And I always see this. I know it sounds bookish, it sounds theoretical, it sounds too good to be true. This is who I have become. And I think I don't even think that I can think of anything else. If there is one more problem, which is tomorrow, I know, again, there is a biggest collection again coming, which is once a year, we launch the biggest collection of the year.
Yeah.
And we are planning 2 stores this year. Something or the other will definitely go haywire.
Yeah.
But I'm prepared for it. I know it comes with its own overheads and I'll manage it in some way.
I think your mindset is like this because your journey has made you like
Yeah,
this.
true.
Yeah,
Very
that's
true.
that's
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
feel.
Yeah.
But I really want this podcast to come out as a guide to professionals,
Yeah.
right? So I want to ask you, let's say आपके पास 2 लाख रुपए हैं. You start with your collection, right? But you don't have any store, you don't have a website. Okay, fine, like you can go to Chat GPT and you can take the help from it. What's next? I mean, you don't know how to market it well. You don't know whom to reach out. You don't have a store, like I just said. So, what is the first step one should take to at least be available, at least to be, telling the world, hey, I exist. So how can they do it?
I'll give you my example, and then I connect it to the hypothetical situation.
Sure.
If you have 2 lakh rupees and you need to start a brand in this day and age, first thing first, go to the Instagram page and book your account. First thing first. If you have created a product, if you haven't created a product, in both the scenario, if you have, or if your own clothes will actually suffice, start posting random shit on the page. And I'm not even kidding, like not just the product, how you're making the product. And if I would have been in that particular scenario, I would rather tell people also that I don't have any money and I'm putting my own clothes on the page.
Being truthful.
Yes, that's the first step you should do. And the second step is, if you have that much money, if you can produce a little bit of product, then show the process of that product. And then still say that you're new in this industry and you have no idea where to go, how to build the brand. I don't have money to market. If you can support, just come to my page and see if you like my work. End of the day, understand, whatever I'm saying, end of the day, people have to like your work. That is on you. That I can't help you with.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can help you with reaching out and give you the distribution and the way you need to distribute your product. By being completely honest, people genuinely love an authentic story. Kisi bhi tarike se, just be honest about, this is the problem.
Yeah.
I put it out on Instagram that, I've completely lost track of how I'm going to produce my collection because the whole factory is on fire.
Yeah.
How do I produce my collection, Baba?
Yeah.
And I'm not even kidding. That particular collection was supposed to be shot in 5 different countries. So we need to dispatch the clothes London, Australia, Canada, New York, like in bits and pieces. Like there were stages, there were steps and months and days were parked for New York pe ab kapde bhejne, us pe kapde bhejne. I did put it out because I wanted to show people that there is a massive collection that's coming up and I have no idea how to do it. And so coming back to the question again, start with your own product, own clothes, and tell people that you don't have money and you want to market it first. If you can, if you are a little equipped with ChatGPT and something like that, build a website and put that product. Again, the biggest misconception I'll clear right now. People think, website ke liye there has to be a certain way that you need to put your product out.
Yeah.
It's not. Go to my website. I'm actually requesting you guys, go to my website and see there are literally shoe pictures and outfit pictures which I'm wearing, but my face is cut. I'm putting it out here right now. Go to my website and see, go to the shoe section and the first picture that you will see is of my shoe and my face is cut and the shoe is there.
Wow.
If I can do it at this level, why can't you do it when you're just starting out?
Yeah.
People have this so-called theories and notions, this has to be done that way. Nothing is supposed to be done in a certain way.
Yeah.
It's your story, Baba. Tell it most honest way and I think you'll definitely succeed in that.
I honestly call this Nina Gupta's theory, right?
Okay.
I literally call it.
Yeah.
Why I say it, I remember, her coming on her Instagram and saying that, guys, I don't have work. I need work.
Yeah.
Give me work.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And it blew everyone's mind. Like such an actor coming on Instagram and saying, I don't have work. Right? But imagine how successful she became after that post.
Bobby Deol did the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it really helps,
Yeah.
When you're truthful, you're not hiding anything.
The one caveat is, and I'm genuinely requesting you, this fear of judgment in people that you can't admit your failure in front of public is something that actually is saving would be a wrong word to use, but it's not letting people come out of their shell and be their own true self.
Yeah.
What will happen, Baba? In India, failure is treated like, oh, you have done some sort of crime that now you need to be just thrown out of this industry. And it has changed. I'm not going to shy away from saying this. It has changed in the last few years. But I remember I failed twice or thrice. Like my whole family, friend circle, oh, you're not built for business. Oh, you're not built for this. People who have no idea about clothes, they were also saying the same thing that, oh, he will not survive. Why is he starting a groomswear brand in the midst of an industry which is completely bridal centric? I can't even use the words that people use for me. So I'm just saying it's just on you, totally on you. Just don't fear being judged, Baba. That's everybody's job. They have something to do. They will do.
But choosing Groomswear, how did you get that clarity?
I didn't get the clarity after I think I got the clarity after my second collection. The first collection, it was just me experimenting with all sorts of silhouettes a man can wear. So there were a lot of trench coats, there were a lot of bespoke suits, jackets. I experimented with few sherwanis. And somehow I got a lot of traction on my sort of design language when I started incorporating my design language in wedding couture.
Okay.
That's where I got the first hint of, oh, this can go a little big. Let me design something more on this line. 2017, I launched the second collection. I may call it collection right now, but it was just like 5-8 pieces or 7 pieces because that was the only bandwidth I had at that moment. So we launched something and we did again 1 or 2 experimentation with the groom silhouette. And it again got a lot of traction. I think 2018, I started my store in Defense Colony. I took a loan and we started, and then I think 2020 COVID hit. It changed everything for us. That in a good way, I'm saying. And understand now we're sitting in March 20, I think 20th March, the first wave hit and we shut our stores. I think June, July, we got back. So that's the time where we usually produce the collection to launch it in August because the wedding season starts.
Yeah, of course.
So that particular moment, we were under this like dilemma, karna hai, nahi karna hai, because the money has already been spent. We have to put the collection out, or should we not do it? Because nobody knew what the hell was happening. Will we ever get normal, or will people ever come to store again? My gut feeling said, let's just go ahead with it because more or less the expense has been done. So let's just do it. And the first video that went out after that went viral. I think it got some, I'm talking about now, people talking about reels. I'm talking about 2020. The collection name was Fractal. The first video was to do with how I only want to cater to grooms. And I am an outsider who's wanting to establish his own personal signature in this industry. It got some 12 lakh views. And that particular moment.
Wow.
And I'm not even kidding. That changed the entire thing. Our business obviously doubled. Our whole collection got a very amazing response. Then 2021 was again Firmament. 22 was Pablo. Then Dali. I'm a lot into art history, French art history. So I read a lot. So my inspiration usually comes from there. But this season I'm doing something which I have never done. It's not from French art history. And I'm kind of a little anxious how I'm going to pull it off. It's a very common sort of, it's a very strong personality. It's a very known personality, but at the same time, it has got nothing to do with art. So I don't know how well. So as far as the clarity is concerned, it came gradually.
Okay.
It came to me every year more and more that I'm doing something right. I'm doing something which is providing value, which nobody has catered to. And now, I'm not even kidding, like the number of fiancés who have blasted me off that you should design for us also, please do the embroidery, because I'm a lot into hand embroidery. And one guy said something, I will launch women's wear. I'm not saying that I'm not going to, but it may be a different brand by JMC or something like that. But one guy said something and it stuck with me that finally there is a guy who's doing it for grooms. I don't want to dilute that. I don't know. It just touched a nerve. I just don't want to dilute that. And that's how actually now we have become like the frontier, like the pioneer into, if it has to be groom and this is the positioning since the very first day. It may be can be taken as a hook-worthy statement, but I said this to my people the day I started my brand, and I'm talking about in a day I started my store. I said this to my people, like the positioning is, if a bride has to go to Sabya for wedding, the groom has to come to Jatin Malik for his wedding.
Tell me why.
Yeah.
Tell me why.
Because nobody can do justice to a groomswear attire better than me. It's as pompous as it sounds, but it's very true. Like,
amazing.
we treat our people like our family, and I'm talking about my clients. We don't charge bonkers amount of money, but at the same time, we do justice to the craft that we are providing. And at the same time, I know for a fact the kind of designs and the kind of efforts my team puts in creating a sherwani or in creating a garment for a groom is not even heard of. Like, 70% of the garments that you see in the market are machine embroidered, and then they are put across as that they are hand embroidered. Hand paint couture, for example.
Yeah.
Hand paint couture started in my brand as concept looks. Concept looks, like concept cars, are just inspiration driven models where it has got nothing to do with if it will sell or not. But the idea was just to put this out in the market so that people can see that this is the inspiration of this year. We started with 2 looks in fractal, 6 in firmament. Now I have 5 racks filled with concept looks.
Wow.
People, I still call it concept look because that's how it originated.
Yeah.
But because of the new crop of events that have started popping up, and you know this better than a lot of people, like the pool party or welcome lunch or a Sufi night.
Absolutely.
And carnival. Like these are the occasions people have started putting these looks in that particular category. And that's how the whole thing has changed. In this particular day and age, now I see a lot of hand paint couture happening in the market.
Yeah.
I don't want to say this out loud, but at the same time, I know for a fact how it started. I know how it's going. I know people say that what next in groomswear?
Yeah.
There is still so much to explore, so much to do. We have just touched, we are on the cusp of it.
Yeah.
We are not even have gotten deep dive into it, taken a deep dive into it. Like bridal centric industry, bridal wear in this day and age, 100 years of bridal wear, everybody's talking about what is the bride going to wear? How is the bride going to look? What is the makeup going to be? What is the accessory going to be? Nobody gave a shit about what is the groom going to be. Bhai, uski bhi shaadi hai. He is also a partner with you. You should also. So that's why that's what I wanted to change. That's what actually has happened now in the last 6 years or 7 years of us doing this. A lot of grooms who come to us now, 70% of it, they know exactly what they want. And that's the best part.
70?
Yeah, I'm not even kidding. Final call and final shots are still to the fiance and the mothers and the sisters of the family. But at the same time, they know the kind of colors, the embroidery. Maybe they have been briefed by the fiancés or the mothers, but they know exactly what they want.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But do you think it's very strategic now, at least, that you don't want to go back to casual wear and you just want to stick to groomswear?
No, it's not strategic. But at the same time, see, it's the creme de la creme of the brand. I won't put it any other way. But at the same time, the Pret wear, so for example, what I'm wearing.
Yeah, and I love it.
Thank you. I haven't even launched it yet. It has become the bestseller.
Yeah.
Because I have just posted on my personal page. So a lot of people over the years have asked, what is Jatin wearing? I want that particular article or I want that particular garment. And these guys jokingly launched a collection which named only JM Wardrobe.
Amazing.
Yeah. So on our website, there is a different category, which is JM Wardrobe, which are all my clothes.
Yeah.
And the inspiration is my clothes.
Yeah.
So that has become a different league altogether. And now we are planning to launch JM Wardrobe as a separate entity with a separate store and a separate brand. My intent is to, I think one of the editors told me this, and I say this out loud. I'm big believer in manifestation. Like JMC is going to be the biggest fashion house. She told me that, you know na, how much you have to work when it comes to launching a fashion house. People launch one brand and they work their entire lives to make that brand.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a fashion house. If I'm launching a women's wear brand, if I'm launching a perfume brand, for example, if I'm launching a women's wear, casual wear brand, but at the same time, all of these brands are a part of JMC ecosystem that I want to fill it in. Same goes for JM Wardrobe. JM Wardrobe is going to be ultra luxury. I don't even know if that's a term. I don't like the term that I just used. It's going to be a luxury Pret-wear brand for men, which they can go from day to night and don't have to even think about changing it. That's the idea.
Wow.
I want people to have an experience of couture, but at the same time in their daily routine wear.
Yeah.
That's the prima facie crux of it. And that's what I want. So all of these brands are going to be a part of GMC ecosystem.
I think you should totally drop the idea of launching anything for females, because look at me. I'm wearing, I think, men's wear and with my kurta
And you look
set.
stunning.
Thank you. I think all credit goes to you.
And we have launched 2-3 campaigns, I think, about she found it comfortable and she approves. Because for me, it's more to do with, if a girl has approved, I know for a fact that the guy will definitely wear it.
It's really very comfortable, and I'm feeling myself. It's not something that I'm feeling that, why am I wearing this?
Yeah.
It's not even suiting me. So
Amazing.
if my team approves it,
Yeah.
I approve it.
Perfect. Lovely.
But coming back to grooms, right? Do you think grooms these days are experimenting enough?
Yeah.
Yeah?
They are.
Can you
I
give
love it.
us a few examples?
I did a wedding. I think the guy was based out of Nagpur, and I loved his shoe collection. And he bought all of the, if you are a sneakerhead, so you will know this.
Yeah.
There are exclusives that are not available anywhere. And he somehow managed to get 3 exclusive pairs going with 3 different outfits that he's going to wear in his wedding. One for the carnival night, carnival look, second for the Sangeet night, and for wedding also. All of the sneakers were absolutely rare. Like, you don't even see those in any sort of multi-designer stores or multi-brand outlets that you can see. Amazing. So that's what I'm saying. And the guy was absolutely in love with the whole look.
Yeah.
Only because he was trying to pair it up with all the accessories and then pairing it up with the sneaker, and loved that look also. So the sneaker thing is very, very in.
Yeah.
Accessories, for example, jewelry. I'm a big fan of jewelry. Men's jewelry is something which is so underrated.
Yeah.
Grooms should experiment with a lot more. I usually wear a shirt and I wear like a 3 tar ka mala also underneath.
Wow.
That's how I, maybe because by virtue of the business that I am in, I can justify it.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying a lot more guys should definitely experiment with, and a lot of are experimenting it already.
But do you think that it's just there in their minds that, wearing jewelry will make them look very, very feminine? Do you think so?
It has gone now.
Yeah.
It is there. A lot of the families that I sit down with, a lot of mothers also do talk about this. A lot of mothers I've seen telling their kid to go a little contemporary on the jewelry that they can pull off, and that'll work beautifully with the sherwani and with the Sangeet ka outfit or some other attire that they are planning to wear.
Okay.
So they are very open these
All
days.
right.
Yeah. So for sneakers, jewelry, we launched JMC cuffs, for example. I use stacks and cuffs usually, and that I'm not even getting it was a must-have accessory for a Sangeet night, whosoever is coming to our store. And it has, my backbone of designing is versatility. I design pieces keeping how I can use this piece in 3 or 4 ways.
Yeah.
Unlike the perception of wedding wear that you can only wear it once, you should come to GMC store, and then I'll talk about how you can actually reuse your sherwani and all of the other things also.
Yeah.
But I've always been of this opinion that it's not just about wearing it once. Obviously, it is about the special day, but after that also you can style it, tweak it, get it cut in a different way, get it altered in a different way that you can use it later on. And that becomes very easy when it comes to accessories and as well as the garments. So yeah, it has been happening a lot now.
What is that one thing a groom should think about before even planning the outfits?
Before even planning the outfit, I think the place that they are going to get married in
Sure.
and the backdrop that they are going to use.
All right.
Because people don't even pay that much attention to the backdrops. And I'm not talking about the stage. I'm talking about, for example, if you're getting married in Udaipur.
Yeah.
And what is the landscape going to be at your back? The pre-wedding shoot will happen there. That should also be a part of the conversation when you're sitting down with the designer. And I ask this, the first question I ask whenever I'm sitting with the family is, where are you getting married?
Wow.
That's the thing.
But how can they avoid looking like a guest in their own wedding? I mean, I have seen brides looking like a bride, but grooms are always underdressed.
That's why what I am trying to change, right?
So if you can just help our grooms by letting them know that, for example, you just mentioned about jewelry, right? I have spoken to a couple of my grooms because whenever I do my podcast, I always speak to real people so that I can take out the information that what are the things that you guys don't want to do. So they have said that when we think about jewelry, we eventually think that it's very feminine, right? But if you see, sherwani pe mostly log wo the heart and all that they wear it. So is there anything else that you feel that they really should choose, they really should think of? Maybe if you can just give some more ideas.
See, first thing first, I'll tell you a story and then I'll come to the point. One is 90% of the grooms who come to the store, they definitely say that, oh, I want to wear something light, but end up wearing the heaviest sherwanis.
Yeah.
So that has always been the case. But now coming to the answer, first thing first, do not shy away from draping a dupatta right. People, grooms especially, it changes the entire look if you drape the dupatta right. There are 5 different ways or 6 different ways you can drape the dupatta. Problem is, you always feel that, oh, it'll be uncomfortable, I won't be able to carry it. There are ways you can carry it. A designer can help you out with that. This is one. Safa is a game changer.
Yeah.
And if you have a little bit of stubble on your face, and if you put a contrasty good safa on your head, it again just enhances the whole face to a different extent altogether. Then the third is jewelry. These are the 3 things. If you do this right, you will look like it's your own wedding. And if you don't do this, because a lot of grooms who just wants to wear a sherwani with the chudidar and the jutti, that's it. Obviously, you will look like a guest in your own wedding. The game changers are the accessories. And I'm not talking about jewelry. I'm talking about the safa done right. And please, for God's sake, it's a request to all the grooms, don't wear a ready-made safa. It looks like a magician ka topi. Don't ever wear this. Always do a hand-tied safa. Pair it up with a good dupatta, which is a good length, so that it gives you some sort of structure. It gives you a look. And then pair it up with a heavy jewelry on the chest. That'll complete the entire look.
I was really expecting this answer from you. Believe me when I say that. I have seen many grooms being so uncomfortable because the safa, the dupatta that they wear, they don't know how to drape it well, right? Half of the times I think I have my videos draping the dupattas for my grooms, right?
I know.
And ultimately I get Sagan ka lifafa though, because I've been called as groom sister.
Nice.
But that's a different story altogether. But do you think having a stylist for a groom, it's also a good thing?
Yes, it is an amazing thing.
And do you think it's important?
A lot of grooms are doing it. There is an in-house stylist. There are in-house social media managers also for a wedding,
Of
and
course.
there are in-house stylists also that people are now hiring. And I think it's a good thing to consider. I think because it's all about the look. People, as materialistic as this sounds, or as vain as this sounds, and I think it's really important because it's the biggest day of your life. Why to left any stone unturned?
Sure.
Just do it. Yeah.
How much help you do to your grooms when they come to GMC in terms of styling, in terms of choosing the right outfit, in terms of letting them find their own style? Because mostly they wear whatever been told to them, right? They don't even know what's their own style. When I look at my wedding pictures, when I see Nitin, when I see myself, I feel that I was not getting married to him. So it's very important, I think, for a designer to at least do. I personally feel that it's your responsibility to choose your model, pretty well. So I want to ask you, how much help people can expect from you, from your brand?
We go all in here, and the most important thing that I do, and I would request all of the grooms also to actually consider whenever they go to some other designer. Understand it's not even occasion wear. It's one day, and I'm just primarily targeting the wedding day.
Sure.
So it's your wedding day. People think it's just one time wear whatever my fiance has told me to, or my mother has told me to, or a little bit of liking I have for that particular garment. But at the same time, understand they're not comfortable. They have not seen themselves in that sort of attire anyway. So they're not in their own skin. That sort of facade has to go down. They need to be very comfortable with the fact that this is my look that I'm trying to create. The difference between wearing like a crop jacket or a casual wear attire so comfortably by people and then comparing to occasion wear is because they don't see themselves in those attires. They can't imagine themselves in those attires, and they don't get used to it. They never get a chance to get used to it because it has to be worn like very rarely. So for that, I personally suggest each and every groom is you need to first find your personality, not just in casual wear, in this also. What is the cut? What is the shape that you want? I can give you standard. I can give you obviously the tailored shape. At the same time, how adventurous that you want to be, like in your own wedding, in terms of the cut, in terms of the kurta, like a drape kurta or a normal kurta. Same goes for accessories. You want to pair it up with the sneakers. You need to sit down with the groom, have a full-fledged conversation. So whenever I am sitting down, I do not even talk about the product for the first 15-20 minutes. I just want to know the person. Where are you working? What kind of business are you into? What city you live in? Where are you getting married? Who are the people who are going to be attending the wedding? You need to concoct the whole thing, keeping that sort of story in mind. Like we did a wedding in Mexico, and the guy wore a safa and a dupatta and a accessories with kalgi, with shoes, the full decked up. And like he's walking on a beach with his fiance, fully decked up in JMC. I literally felt so happy seeing that video and picture. Because it was the last thing. Like the first thing people say is, I'm getting married on a beach. I don't want to carry something heavy. It's your own wedding, Baba.
Why not?
Your call. But at the same time, so this is what we do. I personally want to sit down with the groom and then obviously take the conversation in a different narrative.
But what is that one silly mistake, but turns out to be a big mistake, which usually grooms do?
Before you even complete the question, I knew the answer. Matching the dupatta with the fiance's lehenga. Please, it's a folded hand request. And stop wearing embroidered shoes also, yaar. I have said this out aloud a lot of times. Na to dupatta match karo, na hi embroidered shoes pehno. I do it for a lot of grooms because they ask me to, but at the same time, I have a separate brand for shoe. Like people come to my store to just buy shoes. And these are so versatile. You can use it, and it's not something which is not dressy enough. You can use it for your weekend parties. You can use it for your daily attire if you are like somebody like me. But at the same time, they give you that sort of look. And this thing which has been going on since the last 100 years, जो शेरवानी का fabric है, उसी को shoes पे बना दो, is done. It's a request. Don't do this. So this is the biggest mistake.
I think I completely agree with you. I remember I was doing a wedding in Kaulak. And imagine the setup, right? And I'm seeing my groom walking, and now we're such a good friends. We make fun of each other by saying, why did you wear this? You know, he was entering in, that Raja Maharaja wala song, and then
wearing
the most heaviest, outfit. And I was like, why would you do this? I mean, and he tells me that, ye meri photo kahin par mat dalna. I don't want you to put it anywhere. So I totally feel that. You just made a statement by saying that groom should not match their outfit, their bride's outfit. Why do you think so? I mean, I still feel that people would want to match their outfit with each other.
Match. So, for example, don't match the whole thing, no? You look like a brother and sister more than your fiance and like the bride and groom. So, I would. So, for example, what I do is we put the backing of the dupatta of the same color as. Not the same color, but the same color family. You give a little bit of hint. Don't overpower the whole thing. Match it with the backing of the dupatta. Maybe the color, insert one or two more colors in the embroidery, which can go with the lehenga of the fiance. That's the right way to do it. Or maybe add it through the safa or something like that. But don't just the dupatta has to be the same. There have been requests, I'm not even kidding, like the bride is wearing a vermilion red. And the groom is wearing like an ivory. Ivory ke saath red will work. But at the end of the day, I would rather give a maroon or a wineish color dupatta than a vermilion red to a groom. But there are people who are very insistent on, oh, nahi, we want the same color. That is something which never works. Because then it looks like, oh, you're wearing the same look out of the same fabric. That is something which is never... And for me, it's more to do with individuality. I'm designing for you. I'm putting my heart and soul into it. I'm a couture brand. I'm not doing a mass production also.
Yeah.
The piece is made to order. It's not even off the rack. If somebody is putting that much effort for your garment, you're paying me this much money. Why not you want to stand out individually in your own freaking wedding?
Yeah.
That's the game. That's the thing, right? So that's why I say that do not go all matchy. Just take a little bit of hint. That's all.
Yeah. Have you ever said no to any groom by saying that, no, I'm not the designer for you? Have you ever said this?
No. I think I have definitely suggested them a different designer because sometimes the design language doesn't match. If you come to me and you say, oh, I want all bling, I'm not into that. For example, there are new days that are coming in the wedding, like the new events, which is a Bollywood night.
Yeah.
They want to do glamour. So for example, we can still do that, but tuxedos is something which a lot of people come to me and say that I straight away said that don't come to me for tuxedo. Go to Gaurav Gupta. End of story. So there are designers who are very fixed. In my way, it panned out beautifully because everybody wants to design for the wedding day.
Yeah.
The problem is everybody gets stuck in the other functions. There are a lot of designers who are just known for tuxedos. There are designers who are known for drapey kurtas. There are designers who are known for their quirky mehendi looks. I am stuck at my wedding day attires and I'm so freaking happy because of this. So that's the thing. And I would want to stay the same, like get stuck in the same day. That's the thing.
This is out of the context, but if you have to take one designer's name, whom you think would definitely match, when I'm talking about designer name in the sense of bridal wear designer, who would really match with JMC's design? I mean, if a bride wear this brand and a groom would choose your brand, you feel that, oh my God.
I think I have been paired maximum number of times with Sabya, but I would love to see more of Rimple and Preet paired with my pieces, because the kind of embroideries that they do, I love their embroideries. So that's the kind of thing I would love to be paired with.
Kabhi aisa hua hai ki, groom wants to wear your outfit, but bride is saying, no, don't wear it. Stick to some other designer.
No. So it has not happened because of this reason, but it has happened because of a totally different reason. But it's a very funny reason. And I was there. Luckily or unluckily, I don't know. But I was there at the store at that moment. So the guy spent 2 hours in the store, finalized the outfit.
2 hours?
Yeah. I tried everything in the store. Everything.
Yeah.
Finalized 3 outfits. Wanting to get the bill done. Everything was set and done, and the fiance entered. And the moment she sees him in that outfit, he was still in that last Sherwani trial. He was trying the final outfit, and you don't have to buy from there. You can't buy from here. Reason, you can't buy from here. No, I'm telling you, you look much better than me on our wedding day. I don't want you to buy from here. And I'm not even getting, they left the store. That has happened. So and that's a true story. And I don't know if the lady will be hearing to this podcast or not, but that has happened. So so these things happen in our industry.
Do you feel bad about these things, or do you feel more about the groom?
I just feel bad for the groom, honestly, because still to this day, the individuality is missing. And that is something we have tried a lot to change. It has changed a lot. But still, the whole design process of a wedding garment is run by the females of the family, which I love, absolutely love. They have a different sort of emotion attached to the garment. Guys don't have that sort of emotion, and I want that emotion. And I keep saying this in all of my interviews. And the reason, and I say this out loud, the reason somebody asked me, what do you want GMC to be known for? I want to create an heirloom piece. There is a trend which is there in women's wear where a girl is wearing her mother's lehenga, or girl is wearing her grandmother's lehenga. I want somebody coming to me 30 years after and saying that my dad has bought this sherwani from you and want to make changes in it. I want to wear the same sherwani on my wedding day.
I love that.
So
I
that's
honestly
something that I
love that.
That's the intent of JMC.
Yeah.
That's if I'm getting goosebumps saying it.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying this is what my purpose of this brand is.
Yeah.
I don't see this any other way. I just see this. into watches a lot. Patek Philippe is something which I have been wanting to get.
Yeah.
I will maybe someday, but they use a very beautiful sort of thing that I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember the tagline as such, but it's not for you to keep. It's for you to take care of, to pass
Yeah.
on to the next generation.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I want to do with menswear and groomswear in India. Nobody even gives a fuck about it, but I want to still do this. Yeah.
Love that. I think best part about you is इस पूरी conversation में whenever you've spoken about your brand, your eyes twinkle. You feel I'm not sure if you're really passing on the same
Yeah.
intention, but I'm feeling that you're so enthused about your
Yeah.
own brand. You're so involved. I think it's so important. I'm getting to learn so much from you, and I'm feeling that hey, I think I can actually put this into my
Yeah.
work as well.
Yeah.
So why not? So it's a very beautiful thing to
Thank
know,
you.
and I'm sure you will leave a great legacy behind for sure.
That's the intent.
Yeah. But I want to ask you, because we have just, when I was asking you about the bridal wear designer,
Yeah.
you have named Sabya, right? If you're tagging your name with Sabya, I definitely feel that you're very expensive.
I like to be known as an expensive designer. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But I like it because, see, our craft is not, cheap would be a wrong word to use, but craft is expensive.
Yeah.
The karigars are coming here from their own hometowns and staying with us.
Yeah.
They're spending so much energy. We pay a lot of money to these guys. And the way we have been doing this since the last 6-7 years, it takes some time to get a hang of how this thing is to be presented. And to get one piece ready for a new collection, understand, in the last collection, I launched 300 pieces. Nobody even does that in casual wear also. Let alone like couture, nobody is even heard of launching a 300
Yeah.
piece. Because I want people to come here and they get plethora of options. Like this is the place for me. From dad to brothers to your cousins to your
Yeah.
friends, everybody can buy it from here. That's the intent. And that has always been the intent. So even if I am expensive or I'm not, I think work should speak for itself. And I'm a big believer in, we are couture brand, so we obviously want to create something for you which is for your special day. Somebody wrote a article on me and I laughed the first time I read that article. It was, can Jatin be the Sabya of groomswear industry? I'm not even kidding. It's there on my page also because we liked the article.
Yeah.
So I don't know if, like, can I say this out? I can die right here. Like, you are comparing me to a veteran or to a person who has been here for the past 25, 30 years. I have not even started my career. Like, and people come to me, and this happens in the store a lot of times. Like, somebody came, and I'm not talking about Abhi, I'm talking about 2018. I started my store, and somebody came from Calcutta.
Yeah.
And he said, and he met me, and he said one thing, that I'm here to buy either from you or Sabya. Like, are you freaking nuts? You're putting me in the same category. Can you even understand what you're doing? Like, I have not thought of this in that way. I'm just blessed to be doing what I have always wanted to do.
Yeah.
I want to build something which is of value, and value genuinely comes at a cost.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it doesn't come at it, but we genuinely provide so much effort, put so much energy into creating it that it justifies. And I'm still, people who have mentioned this, that are you expensive? Yes, I am expensive, but you need to see the craft behind the product that we're putting out. Then only you're allowed to, or you should judge about the cost part of it.
I think I should change my question.
Yeah,
And I ask again.
done.
I think most of the designers
Yeah.
are very expensive.
Yeah.
And, weddings are very dream driven.
Yeah.
Right? For example, if any middle class bride wants to wear,
Yeah.
let's say, Sabya, let's say, groom wants to wear JMC, right? So they will think many a times,
Yeah.
to even reach out to you. Ultimately, they'll just go to Chandni Chowk
Yeah.
and then they find the options.
Yeah.
Do you think that there should be a space for people like them?
Yeah.
So that at least, like I just said, it's a very sacred thing to be a
Yeah,
part
yeah,
of.
I know.
So why not? I mean, do you think we should be doing this? I think Anita Dongre has done something similar.
Something similar has
Yeah.
been done, and
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying. So that's why I always say any middle class person.
Yeah.
I don't like the term, but anybody who aspires to wear something couture
Yeah.
and they don't want to spend that much money, I would still say do visit once. There are sometimes emotions attached, and we have done pieces for
Yeah.
people and families who just loved the brand so much. I felt bad that if I don't design for these guys.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say that I'm launching one more brand targeting these people, but at the same time, we are definitely going to get one thing sorted, which is the craft behind the pieces have to be so exhaustive. Like they have to be so exhaustive that there are certain parameters, there are certain criteria that we need to fulfill to be able to put the piece out.
Yeah.
There are so many QCs, there are so many timelines that you need to check. So for that, this will always be the attached cost and the sales price, the MRP. But at the same time, there are instances that we have where we have done. Obviously, we can't do it for everyone, but at the same time, we have done it for a lot of families. We have done it for a lot of people. And if you still want to wear it, I am not going to kid. I don't even know why I'm saying it out loud. Like there are retail brands who usually call, and I think my PR team or my sales team can vouch for me on this. Like before my main collection gets launched, they call us on our landline asking, when are you launching your new collection? Because आपका हमने वो जूता कॉपी किया था वो बहुत अच्छे से बिकता है, आपकी हमने शेरवानी कॉपी की थी वो बहुत अच्छे से बिकती है. So there are people who are actually waiting for our collection to get launched so that they can actually make the pieces.
Yeah.
A lot of people have problem with this. I genuinely don't. I know it's people say it's flattery or whatever the thing is, so you can buy from there also. They're going to give you a decent piece, half of the price. Maybe they change the embroidery and whatever the thing is, but there are people who are doing it. So
Yeah.
that can be one option.
This statement will definitely make you very, very happy. I've just done a wedding, right? It was a big, fat wedding. And the entire family wore your collection, right? And they were so happy because I remember Nitin going to my groom and saying that, I love what you're wearing.
Yeah.
And very nicely he said, hey, I'm wearing Jatin Malik, you know. And,
Appreciate it.
And it makes, I mean, this is your way of achieving things, right?
Yeah.
That this is your biggest reward when people wear it and
Yeah.
still talk good things about it.
Yeah.
I have seen people spending so much money and and being so uncomfortable.
Yeah,
And they
true.
say, oh my God, it's not even fitting well. I'm
Yeah.
not even liking it. Why did I spend so much? But telling, something like this,
After
that
the day
I'm
also.
comfortable,
Yeah.
it makes them,
That's the biggest reward, no?
It's the biggest
That's the biggest reward. And
Yeah.
there have been instances, every designer goes through this, where the timelines are not matched, the production
Yeah.
cycle is completely haywired. And at the same time, end of the day, I just tell my people that deliver a good product. If they actually want to wear it and they feel happy after wearing it, that's a job well done. Then
Yeah.
your delays, your timelines, your production cycles doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
End of the day, that's the only thing we'll live for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's that one design rule you love breaking?
I love breaking all of them, yeah. I love breaking design rules. And that's the benefit of not studying design in any fashion school. And I was in NIFT. I think I was giving some sort of speech. And I sat with the dean and I told them that the kind of CVs that I get from NIFT, especially NIFT Bombay, all of the CVs look the same. And the kind of changes that have happened in our industry, especially when it comes to hand paint, couture, embroideries and everything, you don't even talk about that.
Yeah.
You need to incorporate that in your courses. And at the same time, I posted a few reels, I think last month, where the series was only dedicated to breaking all the rules in Groomswear, where the person who was recording me, she was wearing a shawl. I put her shawl onto myself, tried the look in a different way. Like, why do sherwanis have to look a certain way? There are different ways to do it. Obviously, we have been taught, we have been told a certain way to use this category for. But I personally think that, break all the rules, yeah. It's your own day. The only thing I want is stick to classics, then experiment all you want with the classic. Like one thing has to be standard, and then you experiment with everything, rest of the whole thingy.
When you design any outfit, how do you, make sure that the traditional element should not go away? Because when somebody is getting married, they don't want that traditional element to go away, right? So how do you manage that?
One thing which we are very, very confident about, very all hands on, like the embroidery has to be very intricate. It has to be very precise. And then as far as experimenting with the whole look, through dupattas, through accessories, through all sorts of things that you can put on the classic sort of embroidery is my design language. Amalgamating 5-4 elements, putting it on a classic thing, and I think contemporize it a lot. And then that's how I personally like my design language to be. Yeah.
But what's that one cultural symbol that you just love using? I mean, you feel that I don't want to omit that at all.
I don't know Kalgi is a part of it or not, but I love Kalgis. Yeah. People have their own rituals that this is the kind of Kalgi that they want to use. I want to design Kalgis this season, and I have actually few. We are getting it produced for this season. I want a different, it has not been touched. I don't want to take the essence of the traditional sentiment attached to it, but at the same time, I definitely want to design Kalgis this season. Yeah.
While you were talking about Kalgi, I'm sorry, I'm sure you're gonna hate this question.
Yeah.
What you gonna tell those grooms who really suffer from using sehras? Like literally.
You need to get rid of the sehra. Have a family intervention before the wedding happens. Make them sit down and make them understand. You have spent lakhs on my attire, lakhs on jewellery, the venue and everything. The one thing you need to not do is put sehra on my head, because it makes me look like a joker and it's very uncomfortable and it just spoils the entire look. That's the conversation you should be definitely having before you even enter the stage.
I am asking another question to you. Then there is this family member who's telling you that rituals are very important. How are you telling this that, my outfits are more important than having a ritual in hand?
I think gone are the days where it happens now, but if you still want to have the ritual completely done, get it done in the house, get it done maybe in a separate sort of a setting, but don't do it on the day where they both have to look their absolute best. They're any which way is going to be uncomfortable managing so many things, from Panditji to photographers to guests and everyone. And they want to get drunk also their own wedding, which gets a little difficult. Then the friends are also trying to pester them and getting the drinks there and that. Everything will be there. The one thing they want to not feel is something coming right on their face all the time, which makes them feel very uncomfortable. So that's something which they should.
I really hope that they do, because as a photographer, it comes with a lot of challenges, because when you're shooting, you can't tell them to get rid of this. But if you have to shoot, I mean, a photographer also follows certain kind of feed they don't want to post. I mean, I know that all the weddings are not for social media, but for me, if I'm working, if I cannot let the world know that I've done something, then what's the use of doing this, right? So it's important.
I think there will be a day very soon. I think families will understand that end of the day, that matters much more than...
Absolutely. Since you were talking about that you draw your inspiration from different parts of the world, but you are ultimately catering to Indians, right? How do you combine global inspiration to Indian traditions?
It's a beautiful amalgamation. If you see it from my eyes, I launched a collection in Milan in 2019. The collection name was Pardis. Pardis is, it's the garden in that Mughal era. That's what people used to call, and that's something I wanted to do because I wanted to take an Indian inspiration to present it on an international platform so that they see that how beautiful this whole thing is. And I've gone a completely U-turn, and now I have started taking international inspirations and started designing for Indian audience. All of the French artists throughout the history, from Dali to Pablo to Monet, I have taken. If you see the collection, there is a beautiful sort of narration that happens when their colors, their sort of design palettes come onto the traditional embroidery and the Indian aesthetic. It just tells a different story altogether.
Yeah.
And this is something which I have always wanted to do. And it has given me a lot of results also, good results also, because people have never even thought of that, oh, a wedding couture designer can also take inspiration from French art history. This was us doing it in fractal. Again, fractal is a mathematical term. It has got nothing to do with fashion. I wanted to do this because I wanted to challenge myself.
Yeah.
Firmament, we did it in 2021. Firmament is how the universe was created. It was the first 6 days, the day sky was born, like the day sky came into the picture, the day water came into the picture, the day trees came into the picture. So all of those 6 looks were designed keeping those first 6 days of the universe in mind.
Yeah.
Then came Dali, then came Pablo. Everybody knows Pablo. Then came Dali again. So they have a beautiful story in their paintings. If you just take a deep dive into the kind of colors they have used, I'll give you an example. Olive and teal. I don't know if people will relate to it or not, but olive and teal is a combination I also thought that I'll never do.
Yeah.
It has been the best seller, and it's a Pablo color. Understand now, taking a Pablo color palette of olive and teal blue and putting it on a jacket which people are using for a Sangeet night in India.
Wow.
And it has been the best seller.
Yeah.
I am not even kidding. Like, that's the combination you can never even think of if you just get stuck in this inspiration of, oh, let's do the Mughal era, or let's do one more Raja Maharaja ka era, which a lot of designers do in India. There is no harm in it, but I'm just saying, I wanted to bring the freshness to the table, and that's what my intent was. And I think we have done a decent job, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I definitely love how you said that you love seeking inspiration from different things, right? I remember I was taking one of my photography class, and one of my mentor, he said that, the problem is when you want to create a picture, you go to Pinterest and you only look for picture.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to look at picture.
True.
You're supposed to look at some different random things and feel that how can I turn this into my art?
Exactly.
Right? So it's so important.
Yes.
And I have seen the change in my work. I remember I recently posted one of my bride's picture.
Yeah.
Imagine she is in Thailand and there's just one bench. She's standing on the bench like a supermodel, and there's the sun coming behind. I saw this picture. I think we on Pinterest called as high fashion. Some sort of portraits, and I wanted to have it for my bride.
Yeah.
And everybody is loving that picture.
I would love to see that picture.
Yeah, I will definitely show you that. Right. So, but do you think that this craft technique is being underappreciated?
It is.
Yeah.
And see, it's more to do with the challenge that comes with it. Clothes are seen in a different light. Paintings are seen in a different light.
Yeah.
Craft of different genres are seen in a different light. There comes a person like me, or a person like you, or a person like any other designer who takes the initiative of blending those two crafts together. It takes some time.
Yeah.
It takes some getting used to, because you don't know if it'll work or not.
Yeah.
Could I have done a Pablo in 2017?
Yeah.
Hell no. Because I need some sort of confidence, a sort of platform, some sort of bandwidth. If things don't go the way that I have planned, at least there has to be some sort of everybody is making collection to get money out of it, to get return out of it, right? So this is one more conversation for anybody who's wanting to start their own brand. Your whole collection should be divided into 3 parts. In my case, 70%, 60 to 70% is completely targeting my clients, which they have given us the answers to. So for example, the reason we started a crop jacket category in our Sangeet night is something because everybody was tired of getting an achkan or a bandala in their Sangeet night. We wanted to contemporize it. We wanted to change that sort of scenario. It's a best-selling category in our company. So that's what 70 or 60% of the collection is completely dedicated to whatever your clients are talking about. Take the inputs. In my case, in the last 4 years, rest of the collection is completely into like the hand paint, like the inspiration driven, nothing to do with sales. Or this season, I'm again bifurcating into 3 parts, which is 60, 30 and 10%. 60% is going to be completely client driven, where we want to provide value, where we want to provide whatever they have asked us to do. 30% is going to be again very inspiration driven, very hand paint couture or something like that on that line. 10% is I genuinely don't give a fuck about if somebody will buy or not. I want to put the clothes in the museum. That's how heavy I want to go into that.
Love
that 10% is something just to satisfy my creative juices or my creative sort of vision in my head. It has got to do with I want to make pieces that people will say that, oh, this piece should be in the museum. I can't wear it, but this should be in the museum. That's the intent behind those 10% pieces.
We'll definitely see that.
Yes, absolutely. I would love for you to see that. Yes.
But what's your take on storytelling through clothing? I have seen one of my bride doing this. So my couple, of course, flew from New York and they were very, very spiritual. And the theme of their wedding was 5 elements of nature. Right? So for every event, they chose, of course, water, earth, and all of that. But everything was there on her lehenga. And sometimes it looks cliche when you just see dates written on the outfits. I personally don't like it. Maybe it can be someone's personal choice. But having something so meaningful, like even if you see one part of the embroidery, you know that it's bringing a story, right? So what's your take on the storytelling via clothing?
There is a massive difference between how you storytell through just writing stuff on the garments and you actually just taking the right inspiration and then tell the story. I've taken an inspiration this season. Without delving more into this, I'll just state 5 things. 1, we have taken 5 emotions into the picture: grief, happiness, sorrow, absolute joy, and 1 more. And we are designing the color palette of the collection basis those emotions.
Wow.
And that's what I'm saying. There are ways to storytell.
Yes.
This is how you should storytell if you are actually so deep into emotion. If you love someone, you want to just narrate a page out of your life for them. There are different emotions that you can actually consider that can be used to storytell rather than just imprinting names and sky and some sort of that's the easy way out. People do it. It justifies to some extent, but for me it doesn't. For me, you need to deep dive into what is the essence of that particular thing. If I want to make a color which is out of an emotion which is joy, I need to at least have 7 different colors. Then I'll see which one is making me. I'll put a color on your face, I'll put a color on somebody else's face, and I'll see that how your face comes out. That has to be the core essence of how you should take the inspiration and then the storytelling process starts.
You'll be able to relate with this for sure. I used to listen to this song Agar Tum Saath Ho by Tamasha, right? And one of the YouTuber, he was explaining the real meaning of that song. I used to think that, they're breaking up and she's crying and he's saying, no, I cannot be with you. That's the only story I used to feel. You know what he said? It's not the conversation between a boy and a girl. It's a conversation between heart and a brain. That is the reason she's wearing red and he's wearing black.
Very nice.
So I understood the meaning, right? So heart is saying that I want to stay with you, but brain is saying no. If I stay with you, मैं वैसे भी, I'm वैसे भी खराब हूँ और वैसे भी खराब हूँ. I was like, oh my God. I mean, you don't have to tell the world that this is the story.
Yeah.
Let them figure out their story, whatever that they want to interpret.
Don't make it obvious and put it on the
don't
face.
make it obvious.
Yeah.
And I love that. So I try bringing that, to my work. And I think I'm just enjoying that phase of bringing my own story and thinking, hey, did you understand that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And when they come up with their own decision, when they come up with their own story, it feels so amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I completely relate with what you have just said. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
One thing I always wanted to ask a designer, and I really would want to ask you.
Yes, please.
Do you think awards are very, very important for a designer?
I don't think so.
Why do you think so?
I don't even participate in fashion weeks, Baba. I'm still thriving and surviving 7-8 years. So that's why I'm saying the day and age has gone where you confine your brand and yourself to the standards and the set norms that this industry has given you. Instagram has changed everything. People may curse, hate Instagram so much these days. It has given so many brands so much money. It's our bread and butter. It has become the platform where a brand like me who has got no backing, nothing in this industry, started from scratch, no fashion technical knowledge also, but we built it on Instagram.
Yeah.
We used the Instagram platform for our campaign launches, to our new collections, to our whatever stories that we want to put across. When that doesn't matter, how come awards have any sort of relevance these days? Nothing.
No, definitely. I like...
it's just your PR. And I think you can get your PR done. And I say this, my grooms are my PR. I think they have done a lot for me. They have, and everything comes down to one thing. If your grooms or your people are saying good things about you and more people are coming to your brand because of them, every brand wants that, right? You can do it from your fake PR, doing first like scripted storytelling, or you can do it from authentic word of mouth also. I think that's the one way to look at it.
I think there's this line that I often use, that I might have not won many awards, but I've won many hearts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
I've crossed 3,000 grooms, Baba. Like
amazing.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a number.
It's a number, and I keep track of it.
Yeah.
Because I know how much it means to me. I don't even want to be called. I know how many PR agencies wanted me to design when I started, because celebrity styling doesn't happen for sherwanis.
Yeah.
So you need to design some funky kurta, some sort of drapey, sort of this and that.
Yeah.
I told them very specifically, even if it doesn't happen, it will happen someday. I don't want to change my positioning. You know how many brands now want to transition from a cocktail designer to the wedding designer.
Wow.
Because everybody knows that that's the game. That's like the test match of wedding industry. And I have always wanted my positioning to be very clear. Even if it's wedding couture, I want my positioning to be, if a guy has to get married, he has to think of Jatin Malik for their D-Day. That's
amazing.
Yeah.
But do you think that global events like Met Gala, global events like Cannes, I mean, people really represent their own clothing in Cannes as well. Ultimately, it's a film festival. Still, we put so much efforts in showcasing which designer we're wearing and all of that. Do you think it's very important for a brand?
It is. It works very nicely without spending too much money on the PR. But at the same time, if a celebrity is wearing your clothes without, like organically, not like you have paid some sort of influencers to do this. Organically, if somebody has picked up your outfit and he's wearing it for some of the international event, any of the international event, it just pans out in your way. I have never seen a celebrity wearing our clothes turning out to be a massive game changer in terms of numbers, but it definitely gives you the eyeballs. Yeah.
I don't know whether I should say this or not, but there is an air on social media that whoever participates, especially any Indian designer in global event like Met Gala, they literally pay for it. They are usually not invited.
Met Gala is a paid event. I don't know if people don't know about this or not, but people should know about this, that You need to pay the money to walk the carpet. It's not an NGO. It's for profit, but they are doing it to collect the money to. Obviously, now they collect money in billions, but it is a paid event. You can't just be there on the carpet. Everybody who has walked the carpet has paid the money to walk on that carpet. So don't even confuse this with, oh, it's a PR event. It's not. It's a paid event. It's a paid PR event. That's the massive difference.
Then why do people showcase it as that, hey, I got invited and I'm being a part of this? Then why is that?
There are still celebrities, there are still publications who shy away from admitting this because the story becomes even more authentic if you don't talk about money. Like a lot of influencers don't now have started writing paid partnership. But brands still want to push influencers to just organically put the content out and not write paid partnership.
Yeah.
But that's the game changer, because the moment, and I'll tell you how, the moment some influencer has put paid partnership, even if he's doing a right job, he's doing it beautifully, he's presenting the product beautifully, there is always this kick in our head, he has gotten money out of it.
Yeah.
That's why people don't talk about it. And same goes for Met Gala.
And that's an insight.
Yeah, so that's an insight. They will, the whole essence will lose the moment they talk about that, oh, this celebrity has paid this much money, or this celebrity's PR team has paid this much money to walk the red carpet.
Yeah.
Anna Wintour has changed the entire game once she got hold of how this event has to be. Before that, it was just an event for just not even celebrities I'm talking about. It was just an event for the socialites of New York to come there, collect the money. It's like a table discussion where everybody has to pay for that particular plate. Like the dinners, the presidential debates ke dinners jo hote hain, us type ka, there is a price attached to everybody who's there. That's the thing.
Wow. But talking about influencers, do you think influencer marketing really hurts the luxury fashion, or it helps boosting the luxury fashion?
See, it all depends upon where you are in your brand's journey. People have taken to a different T altogether, where people have started abusing influencers. They've started saying so many shitty things about influencer marketing to say. The only thing influencer marketing has given you is eyeballs.
Okay.
And if you are somebody who has just launched your own brand, you have 10,000 followers or 2,000 followers or 5,000 followers.
Yeah.
But through influencer marketing, you can actually get the eyeballs of a person who has, say, 1 million followers. That will definitely help you as a brand. For a brand like me, for a brand who have gotten a little bit of success also, just starting to explore more options also. I personally don't invest that much time and energy in influencer marketing. I would rather spend my energy on creating the user-generated content, which obviously in our industry is not even heard of, because UGC content is something which casual brands, like the tiny brands, they do it a lot because people make that as a part of their daily routine wear.
Yeah.
But for us, it's very specific. So it becomes very difficult. But I'll still invest there. I'm still keen on that.
Yeah.
But not like influencer marketing has given, it has been a game changer for a lot of brands. I'm not going to shy away from saying this, because a lot of tiny brands have gotten a lot of businesses from an influencer promoting their product. But at the same time, it depends where you are in your brand's journey. You need to pinpoint that. If you are, I'll make it even more specific. If you are in the first 2 years of your brand building, and if you have just 5 to 7,000 or 10,000 followers, you should definitely take the route of influencer marketing to get more reach to your page.
Amazing.
Anything which is above 50,000 followers if you have, or 100,000 followers if you have, then you need to weigh the option. How much you're spending on an influencer marketing campaign, and how much you will get it by running an ad on your post organically, not organically, but getting the same traction or through your ad. Or the third option is, if you can actually rope in few people who can actually organically put that your product in your life, and then it becomes a different ball game altogether. So these are the...
But I feel that, these days, brides are very, very specific on what they're buying, right? Either brides or the grooms. They don't want anything which is overly used
Yeah.
on social media. If one influencer is wearing it, then the second one is wearing it, the third one is wearing it, then we are seeing in the movies, then you don't want to use the same outfit for your own wedding because you
Yeah.
don't want to look like someone else, right?
Yeah.
So what's your take on it?
Rochelle Pinto actually pointed it out in the last reel. I think she posted it. It went viral also. If you are everywhere, you're nowhere. And that's so aptly put.
Yeah.
So aptly put. And I'm not even kidding. The kind of platforms that you have now to put your product, not just Instagram, I'm saying. People get to see your outfits at least 3 to 4 times before it actually comes onto the shelf and in
Yeah.
the store. They always feel, oh, this I have seen it on him. This
Exactly.
I have seen it on that particular celebrity. So what is the point of doing this?
Yeah.
I had a massive debate within my organization when we were talking about what is the next 5 years going to look like for JMC. So we are talking about the new stores, we are talking about the international store also. I have never been that person who wants to start 10 different stores in India. My sales team in Delhi usually have a fight with sales team in Bombay because they think that because we get a lot of business from Surat, for example. Surat, we have a lot of clientele.
Yeah.
And there is a joke in our office like, I have some sort of affair going on in Surat or some sort of people that the love that I get from Surat is just mind boggling.
Yeah.
One time I did an event there and people get so many mithais from me. कहाँ से लोग आए मुझे भी नहीं पता. And I genuinely felt so humbled. Like I've never even run a single ad targeting Surat.
Wow.
But that's because they love celebrating weddings. That's the key. So my Delhi store team usually have a fight with Bombay store team that you have taken my client. So if we are global beings now,
Yeah.
I'm not, the number of NRI weddings that I do in a year, I was in New York in October. We had a massive sort of one-on-one with the designer, meet and greet. I met with at least 50 families there. And 10 of them actually locked in something. Then, this was in October. And March, they all visited Delhi store. That's what I'm saying. It's your
Yeah.
special day. People take time. People make it a project. People feel
Yeah.
happy when they make it a project.
Yeah.
And that's the reason having so many stores doesn't make sense. Having so many locations doesn't make sense. Then coming back to what Rochelle said, which is you will spoil your own brand by being available in all the markets, in all the areas, in all sorts of platforms.
Yeah.
So you need to cut away your presence. Be a little mysterious. Be a little like you're couture. You're selling yourself in the market in every nook and corner. What is the point of doing
Yeah.
this? That's the idea.
No, I love the way you said
Yeah.
it. I think it's very, very important to keep something to yourself,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
So maybe sometimes people say it's the limited edition.
Yeah.
Sometimes people name it as this is not for the
Yeah.
public, right? All those things are very, very important. and
I'm
apt.
saying rather than creating artificial scarcity, do it genuinely.
Absolutely.
That there are only, see, any which ways it's made to order.
Yeah.
I will make only 7 pieces from this particular garment for this particular design language or this particular genre.
Yeah.
You don't have to, and I will only put those garments in these 3
Yeah.
MBOs and nothing beyond that.
Absolutely.
That's how you need to plan your merchandise in
Yeah.
all across the country. Yeah.
But on the same note, do you think Indian designers are being underrepresented at global stage?
Yes, they do. They have not gotten the right due till now. I think this is the first time I'm saying this on any podcast, but I'm planning a store in New York in another 2 years.
Sure.
Only because of the love and the kind of appreciation that I've gotten over the last 3 years from New York. And it's not about me not being appreciated there. It's me not being available there in the capacity that I want to be present in. And that's the only thing which I think a lot of designers face, because the real estate and the capex is too much
Yeah.
to start your store there. That's the reason I'm taking that much time. But the love that you get from there, it's not just the NRI families I'm talking about. There were a lot of Firangis who actually picked out a sherwani just because they wanted to wear it on a brunch on a Sunday.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying, because they
Yeah.
appreciate the craft
Yeah.
and they have not seen anything like that.
Yeah.
It may sound a little pompous, the number of times I have been stopped in the street just because of the attires that I'm wearing in New York. It's just mind-boggling. And I have always had one or two people with me from New York team, from some, and everybody is recording. It's all documented. I have put it on the page also. Like there is a 80-year-old lady sitting right next to me in a cafe, and I'm having my coffee, and he's just looking at me up and down. You have made this? Yes. Lovely shoes. And she then started talking about her own thingy, that how she used to be a seamstress and how she used to like stitch the clothes in a certain manner and this and that. That's what I'm saying. The craft, the appreciation of craft is there.
Yeah.
The only thing is we should have the right platform to represent us there. That's the idea.
If you have to name one global event that you would want to represent your brand at, what would that be?
I think menswear should be a part of haute couture community, if at all that's possible. Yes, fingers crossed. Yeah.
Holding it.
Yeah.
I'm sure this will definitely happen, but you do so much, right? You're handling 3 brands. How do you keep your sanity so safe? Like, how do you do that?
I think Unplugged keeps me grounded. People think that I have built a community and I just preach things. Sometimes I don't think they do, but it's my defense mechanism who's saying that they do. But I walk the talk. Whatever I preach, I do this in my life every day. And it's not something that I've built this, then I'm doing my business. I have built the business, then I'm doing this. So it's not something that a lot of meditations and a lot of spiritual gurus and a lot of motivational gurus to say, they talk about all of the things that you should do your business like that, you should sit and do this and this and that. End of the day, understand, nobody is doing their own business. That's their business. I'll give you a very funny example, and it happened like 3 days back. We are doing a meditation event, which you have to come for on 18th.
With all my heart.
Yeah, on 18th. And kid you not, so I did a Q&A where somebody just asked me that I have my own brand. I want to sit down with you for a 10-minute session.
Sure.
And I said, yes, come for the meditation event. There is a one-on-one happens after the meditation event, and there is a queue. So you need to plan your name in the list and something like that. And then she asked that, what is the fees? Then that person's answer, because I put it on the page, there were at least 10 different questions asking me the same thing. What is your fees? What is your fees? I clarified it. It's not my business. It's my love for the community.
Yeah.
It's like nobody has done it for me. That's why I want to do it for you. Believe it or not, I know that's too good to be true, because I begged people to give me some sort of guidance when I was 22 or 23. Give me a chance to sit down for an interview. I'm not from a fashion background, but I'll do justice because I'm a hardworking person. I will learn very quickly. Just give me a chance. I can right now tell you 7 names off the top of my head that these are the brands who didn't even let me sit for an interview. And I'm not even kidding. See, that's justified from their end because I'm not a technically studied designer. But at the same time, that's exactly what I want to do. People who want to start their own brand, and I say this with utmost honesty from the bottom of my heart, if one kid from any tiny corner of this country see this episode or see my Unplugged page and say, fuck, he also has no backing, no understanding of fashion, he still launched his brand, I will also launch it. That's the honest purpose of Unplugged. That's the way I keep my sanity intact.
Wow. I think at this point, I can just be very, very grateful to God that He made you choose this couch to share your story. While you were talking about, because no one helped me, that is the reason I want to help people. To come to this point in life, I think you really need to go through a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad that you're giving back to the community so that your pot can be felt.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy. You have no idea. You can totally see on my face that the smile has been on for I don't know for how many hours. Yeah. So though I don't want to end this podcast, I want this conversation to go on.
And we can go on and on.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I call it a rapid fire, but it always turned out to
Yeah.
be the longer answers. Yeah, but
I'll try and stick to the rapid ones.
yeah. So we will definitely ask you a couple of questions so that it can be a little helpful for our grooms to be.
Done.
And maybe all those brides who sometimes comes and say, no, you're not supposed to wear this.
Yeah.
They might just also
True.
say that you are supposed to wear this.
Yeah.
My first question to you, what's that one accessory that can make a groom look sharp?
I think a rightly tied safa on his head.
Amazing. What's a styling tip every groom should know?
Drape the dupatta right.
How do you make sure a groom's outfit looks great in photos?
I think tie all the buttons and do not leave the top 2 buttons open. That changes the entire look of the outfit.
Love that. How do you help a groom who doesn't feel confident in his outfit?
I think just trust your designer. If they know their job, they will make you stand out in your own wedding in a very beautiful way.
Though you've answered this, but still, how can a groom and bride match without overdoing it?
Just match the backing of the dupatta, not the entire dupatta. It's a request. Folded hands.
What's that one timeless piece every groom should own?
I think a good mala and a kalgi. It has to be an heirloom piece. It can't be just a normal pearl mala or ruby mala. Yeah.
How do you layer an outfit without looking bulky?
I think just keep the shoulder pads and so cut the fabric very close to the body don't overfuse it. Do not put heavy padding on the shoulder. I think that'll look very sharp and very sort
Amazing.
of intact.
What's the best way to balance comfort and style?
You can't. I'm sorry to say this. The people say this a lot.
Yeah.
Fashion is comfortable. Your wedding day is going to be the most uncomfortable day of your life. You need to be prepared for it. Groom as well as bride, because the kind of clothes that you'll be wearing, the kind of people that you'll be talking to, the shoots, the panditji, the mala going here, where everything will go haywire. So just relax. Try and be relaxed. You can't change it. Your photographers and your people will manage it. So it can't be comfortable.
I love having an honest designer on WedFM. What's one grooming tip you recommend before the wedding?
I think I'm trying to do something about it, but the grooms, like the way brides start to prepare their skin and their regimen and the whole regime of their skincare 3 months, 2 months or 6 months before their wedding. This tendency of grooms going to the parlor one day before and getting the facial done is something which is so outdated.
I know.
There should be something about that somebody should do. That's the thing I'm trying to do. Yeah.
We'll come to your glowing skin later. Bling or minimal?
I think classic with bling.
Lovely. Ivory or pastels?
Ivory.
Sherwani or tuxedo?
Hands down Sherwani Baba.
Sneakers or mojeries?
Sneakers.
Okay. Most stylish Bollywood groom ever. I know for a fact you have done a lot of celebrity weddings. Yeah.
I don't know about the celebrity weddings, but I think what Ranbir wore for Ae Dil Hai Mushkil, I think it's a Sabya's piece. I like that piece a lot.
I love that too.
Yeah.
Classic kurta or quirky prints?
Classic kurta.
One trend you wish would disappear?
Matching dupattas.
If you had 30 seconds to style a groom, what would you do?
I will give him a ivory sherwani, put a tone-on-tone dupatta with a nice pop color backing, with the same safa, highlight the safa with a very heavy sort of jewellery on the safa as well as on the chest, pair it up with the JMC Kalige, which is a loafer that we do. And I think pair it up with a little bit of accessory on the hand. I think we're good to go.
And with that, you literally won a hamper.
Thank you.
But thank you so much, Jatin.
Yeah.
You have no idea how much we have learned through this podcast. You're a creative genius. Like when I say that, I totally mean it.
Thank
You
you.
are beyond any design, style, or anything. I think you're more about confidence. You're more about culture. You're more about values. I think that's very rare to see in this era. And I'm again saying this, which I've just said, that, you know, having you on the podcast, I don't really say it quite oftenly, but it really, really, really has given so much value. See, I'm saying it before it's going to go
Yeah.
live, right? Because I have learned so much.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to bother you so much by calling, hey, you know what, I did this
Nice.
as well.
Nice.
So thank you. And
Appreciate
very,
it
very
so
grateful.
much. Thank you so much for having me. Also.
Thank you.
Nice.
But before that, the hamper is definitely due. So we have a very small thing. I always say that this is what my mom has taught
Yeah.
me. She said, when two people are talking and when you are listening, you ultimately become the shusha,
Yeah.
right? And the other one becomes your guru.
Arey, this is too much, Baba.
That's
Yeah.
what we say,
Yeah.
right? That's what I've learned.
Yeah.
So it's very important when guru teaches you something, you give back some dakshina.
Thank you so much.
This
Dena
little love.
Muskan, I've gotten something for you also.
Oh my God.
Yes. I hope it fits you well. It's something from our She Approves collection. I think you will be able to use it. Again, as I mentioned, it's a very versatile piece. You can
Thank
design
you.
it, style it the way you want to. And I think you will love wearing this.
Thank you
And I would love
so
to have few pictures also when you wear this.
Definitely. Thank you. And
Yeah.
it's a pack-up.
Yeah. Thank you. It was an amazing, amazing experience being here at WedFM. I'm talking to Shanaya. It felt like two long lost friends having a time of their lives and talking about all things weddings, all things fashion, all things entrepreneurship. I genuinely expected nothing short, but at the same time, I never knew that the conversations can go so organically well. I have done this a lot. So I know when I'm saying this, it's coming from experience that this is one of the best platforms for any budding entrepreneur and designer and anybody who has got anything to do with wedding. I think this is the place to be. And I think it's the best freaking platform for anyone to know anything and everything that goes behind a wedding, anything and everything that goes behind a brand building process. So I think I'm so grateful and thankful to be here, and lovely having all sorts of you, like all of you also here with me, taking care of all sorts of production. So thank you so much for having me here, and super grateful.